Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and welcome to a revelation which I think should result not only in the collapse of this government, but the prosecution of Keir Starmer and Richard Hermer for treason, for lying. Lying to us, the people, lying in Parliament, lying to everyone. And for doing something that has been very damaging to this country in terms of its finances, its standing, its national security, and all based on a lie, on bullshit, on made up stuff that they knew going in was a lie. Labour have revealed that the, quote, legal threat that they were claiming, that they then said that's what's forced us to hand over the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, which never owned it, and pay Mauritius £50 billion for their trouble, is based on a lie. Luke Pollard, who's one of the defence ministers, has admitted in the Commons that the legal basis for this threat is that the United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea would apply. I'm going to quote what Luke Pollard said. It's important. He said, had we not signed the treaty, we could have faced further legal rulings against us within weeks because the negotiations begun by the Conservatives had been stayed. Further legal rulings might have included arbitrary proceedings against the UK under Annex 7 of the UN Convention of the Law of the Sea, known as UNCLOS. A judgment from such a tribunal would be legally binding on the UK. It would impact our ability to protect the electromagnetic spectrum from interference and impair our ability to ensure access to the base by air and sea, to patrol the maritime area around the base and to support the base's critical national security functions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is bullshit. It's a complete and utter lie. And you know why it's a complete and utter lie? And they know it's a complete and utter lie because they're all very good solicitors, is that the UK can and always has been able, by law, to exempt itself from cases under that very convention because disputes concerning military activities, including military activities by the government vessels and aircraft engaged in non-commercial service, and disputes concerning law enforcement activities in regard to the exercise of sovereign rights or jurisdiction are explicitly excluded from the jurisdiction of a court or tribunal. In other words, they made it up as they went along because they want to weaken our national security and, by giving away 50 billion, weaken our economy deliberately because they hate this country and they want it broken, poor, impoverished and incapable of rebuilding. They want to alienate us from our allies such as the United States, weaken our military and our military response capability, add power and urgency and agency to our enemies such as the Chinese, and doing so under the lie that if they didn't we might maybe have been prosecuted, knowing full well we couldn't. They are traitors. They are treasonous wankers. And if I had my way, and in my opinion, dangled. My opinion. Now, Labour itself has admitted the UK's use of electromagnetic spectrum cannot be interfered with by the international treaties. There's a big row in the Commons over the matter. Mark Francois, Tory defence spokesman, said during today's Commons debate, this is yesterday, during today's Commons debate on Diego Garcia, the government's legal case collapsed under close scrutiny. They finally revealed that the legal threat to justify their £50 billion surrender deal is based on the UNCLOS treaty, for which we in Britain already have a clear opt-out for disputes concerning military activities in Article 298. The whole case is a sham that we've discovered this today, being yesterday. Now, Labour and Starmer have repeatedly refused to specify which grave legal threat forced the surrender. And now we know why. because there wasn't one. And the way they've weakened our economy and our defence and our security is shameful. They should resign immediately. They should call a general election immediately. And then those two wankers, in fact, all of them, need to be arrested, tried, convicted, and alas, unfortunately only, jailed for the remainder of their stinking, quizzling, turncoat lives. And we want the 50 billion back. And if we have to go to war with Mauritius to get it, so fucking what? We'll do it. We'll take our money back. And I want every single penny taken off Keir Starmer. Everything he owns taken back. His pension especially. Take it back. Take everything. Leave him with nothing. Leave him with his underpants in the street. Or his underpants in a jail cell. Have everything back off him. Off all of them. To repay the 50 billion. Utter fucking wankers they are. And they stood and lied in Parliament. This is why you never vote Labour. What is wrong with the Labour Party? Why do they hate Britain so much? Why does this one party so desperate to destroy everything about us? They want us dead. They want us replaced. They want the country turned into a shithole. And we're letting them because we're not stopping them. I can see why so many people in this country are angry. Let me know what you think. Oh boy, I bet I'm about to find out. I think this is going to be a hot topic down there in the comments. Bye.